All right, so let's go to Mounce chapter 10, and let's take a look at these exercises here. And we've done some of them. I think we went through all the parsing we need to. Unless you have a question about parsing exercises, I am happy to look at any more of these if you'd like. But otherwise, we can go on these warm-ups and translation exercises. Are there any questions about the parsing? Anybody still need to deal with any of these parsing questions?
So for the lexical form, we look at the genitive singular, is that correct?
For the lexical form, you're looking at the nominative singular.
Nominative.
Yes, but along with the nominative singular form in your dictionary or in your vocab list, it'll always give you the genitive singular along with it so that you can know what your real stem is. So can I just quiz you real quickly on these? If you don't have any questions, let me just do a real quick review and quiz you on a couple of these. Let me just get rid of the markings here, okay? I just want you to look, here I'll get rid of all this too. Just looking at the case endings, help me with the case gender number, okay? Help me with case gender number. So first of all, sarki, what's the case gender number of that, looking at that iota?
Dative singular.
Dative singular, and then does anybody know what gender sarki is?
Feminine.
It's feminine, because the lexical form is, it's sarx, and by looking at the ending of sarx, you can tell that's clearly feminine, right? Absolutely not. What do you need to memorize with your,
I say it's both.
you need to memorize the article with your noun. Hey sarx. Hey sarx. Yes?
Can you tell by the alpha inside?
Nope. That alpha is not the stem vowel. Okay. Because sarx is a third declension noun, which means its stem ends not with a vowel but with a consonant. And third declension nouns, you cannot know the gender unless you just learn the article with it. Okay? Good. Tenas. You see that? Omicron sigma. What case ending is that? Genitive singular. And does anybody know whether that's masculine, feminine, or neuter?
It's either one.
It could be all of them. Oh yeah, it could be all. That's right. The lexical form is tis and t with the accent on the iotas. Okay, so the first one is what gender? Masculine and feminine. The second one is neuter. And the one of the rules we learn is that masculine and neuter forms are identical in what cases?
Genitive and dative.
Genitive and dative. And since the os is genitive and singular, okay, the masculine and the neuter forms the same, but the feminine is always going to be identical to the masculine when we only have two forms, right? So this could be masculine, feminine, or neuter, genitive singular. All right, pasas. Pasas. What's my case ending? Is it alpha sigma or sigma? What's the case ending?
Alpha sigma.
Is the case ending alpha sigma?
No, it's sigma.
No.
Sigma, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Hmm.
No,
We
it's not.
we seem to be double-minded about this.
No, it's just a sigma. It's just a sigma.
Why are you halting between two positions?
Oh, makes sense if you this
Has
us.
Had to run it with
the
fence.
stem as two different things.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, is there such a case ending as alpha sigma?
There is.
Which declension pattern?
That's third declension.
Third.
Okay, alpha sigma is a third declension case ending. So that is something we just need to kind of hold in our minds, okay? Alpha sigma is third declension. what if it's third declension? What is it? In the third declension, it's accusative plural for who? Masculine and feminine, right? Okay. Let's say it's not alpha sigma, but just sigma. Okay. What's going on here? If it's just sigma, then what declension pattern is this following? It's first because I've got a sigma attached to a case. I mean, the sigma is the case ending attached to a stem that ends with alpha, right? So if my case ending is just sigma, then this is first declension, and it's what? I've got really two possibilities. Yeah, accusative plural or genitive singular, but will I be able to tell the difference between the two? Yeah, I've got to look at the stem vowel, okay? So, I might be hopelessly lost at this point unless I can remember the lexical form. And when I learn the lexical forms, I really need to learn the masculine, feminine, and neuter forms. Okay? So what is my lexical form here? Pas, pasa, pan. Okay, good. And what do we know about pas, pasa, pan? What declension patterns does this noun that means all, every, what does it follow? 3-1-3. 3-1-3. That is the masculine is third declension, the feminine is first declension, the neuter is third declension. All right? So which one of these am I looking at? Is this the masculine, feminine, or neuter form of pas, pasa, pan? It's the feminine form. Okay. Now I'm starting with an alpha in the feminine and nominative singular form, right? So if we were to, brother, can you paradigm over here? Okay. Feminine singular neuter, pasa. What's the genitive going to be? Passes. Remember, alphas go to eta unless what goes before the alpha? R-E-I. We don't have an R-E-I before that, so it's pasa, passes, passe, back to pasan. Plurals always go to what? Alpha. Passai, pason, passais, passas. Okay? All right, so which is this? I've got passas, right? So only one possibility. It's this one right here. Accusative plural feminine. So we're going to get rid of that, right? So first declension, accusative plural feminine. It's not genitive singular. All right, good. Henas. What's the Omicron sigma? Genitive singular. Okay. Is it masculine, feminine, or neuter? I just gave you 3 options. You can't say both.
But there's only masculine and feminine are the same ones.
Are they?
Yeah.
Are
Yeah,
they?
that's this one.
Look at my
That's why I said
lexical forms. You gotta learn these. Haste, mia, hen.
You got 3 this
It follows what pattern? Same thing as pas, pasa, pan.
3-1-3.
3-1-3, right? Mia is the first declension feminine. Is mia part of that root or stem? No. I mean, not over here, right? I'm dealing with either the masculine or the neuter or both. What case is os? We said genitive singular. That means that masculine and neuters here will be the same, identical. Okay, so this could be masculine or neuter.
Yeah, see, that's what they're both.
That looks like men, doesn't it? Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Here, wait a minute. All right, there you go. So, what about soma? What's my case ending here?
Oh, or, oh no.
Yes, my case ending is nothing.
There's nothing.
That's right. What's the real stem here for soma? It's somat. And the tau at the end, when no case ending is added, is in the final position. What do we do with tau's in final position? We throw in the tau and it's gone. Right? All right. So this could be what case gender number is no ending?
Nominative and accusative.
It's nominative and accusative,
Singular.
singular, and neuter. That's right. Good. Onomatone, the own ending tells you it's
Genitive.
genitive,
Plural.
plural. You own that, don't you?
Mhm.
All right.
Neuter.
Is it neuter because that's an omega?
Okay.
What's that?
It's an alpha.
It's an alpha?
Because Mounce told us.
What's the stem? Yeah, say it loud.
Okay, go ahead. Say it again.
Mark, talk to me. Speak English.
I think the word is just a neuter word.
Yeah,
It's onomat.
it's just a neuter noun. That's right. You should learn the article ta with
Onomat.
ana. Now the lexical form, is it going to be onomat?
Onomat.
Yeah, it's going to be onoma,
Onomat.
as in onomatopoeia. Remember the word onomatopoeia?
Yeah, it makes the boys do that.
Yes. Whoosh. Bzzz. Bang. Batman used to do it. He doesn't do that anymore in the movies, does he?
Usually little boys talk like
That's
that,
really
whereas
where it comes
girls will
from.
say
I'm
the
gonna
word.
That's right. And sometimes you name your toys by the sound they make if you're a kid, right? My son had a train set, and every time we also cross the train track, the arm that comes down and makes the noise,
Yeah, ding, ding.
he called those ding dings. Mommy, when's the ding ding gonna come down? He didn't know what the word for it was, so he called it a ding ding. It was very cute. My 18-year-old man-child who walks around here taller than me now. All right, so henna. What's my case ending here? It's the alpha.
There's no,
Is there no case ending?
oh yes, there, alpha.
Accusative. Singular.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The alpha is the case ending. Now, you might see that alpha and think, that looks feminine, doesn't it? Feminine nouns with no case ending? Surely that is a nominative, feminine, singular word, isn't it?
Negative.
Negative. Because what's the lexical form? Heis, mia, hen. So if this were feminine, would I have the stem hen or the stem mia?
Mia.
Mia. One feminine thing is Mia. Think Mia Hamm, the great female soccer player, right? Mia. So I was just talking about The Matrix with some students in class. You guys remember that movie, The Matrix? Right? So remember, Neo was the man, right? If they had made a Matrix movie where the star was a woman, her name would have to be Mia. Right? She's the one. Yeah, she's the one. Mamma mia. Okay, so anyhow, so this can't be feminine because we have to have a form of Mia. So it's got to be masculine or neuter. Where do I have alpha in my masculine or neuter case endings?
Accusative. Singular.
Okay, here. Yeah, let's pull this up real quickly. Where's my handouts here?
And accusative.
So third declension. Do I have alphas? Oh yeah. In the masculine and feminine column, I have the alpha here for accusative singular masculine. And theoretically feminine if the feminine were a third declension form. But with haste Mia hen, Mia is not a third declension pattern, right? Mia is a first declension, not third declension. So for haste Mia hen, only the masculine and the neuter are using third declension case endings. So it could be this, or it could be one of these two, right? Neuter and nominative or accusative plural.
Singular because
So those are my possibilities. So it's either masculine or neuter, and depending on which gender it is, I've got possibilities, right? So if it's masculine, it's what?
Accusative.
Accusative, singular. If it's neuter, it's
Nominative or accusative.
nominative or accusative, but not singular,
Plural.
it's plural, right? There you go. Okay. Hey, let's play tennis.
But you can't have the plural for cannot, right?
Yeah,
Because it's one.
What's that?
You can't have the plural for.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. So theoretically,
Oh.
just looking at the case ending, it could be those. But yeah, you wouldn't expect to find that. You know what? Before we leave today, let me just do. I want to do a search through the Septuagint and see if the number one ever comes up in the plural as a reflection of the Hebrew plural for one. So remind me to do that. Okay, tennis. Tennis. What's my case ending? S is what? Nominative, plural, and which declension pattern?
Third.
Third declension, right? Third declension. So nominative, plural, and is it masculine, feminine, or neuter? Okay. So we got nominative, plural, and masculine / feminine. Why did you not go with neuter here? You did, but you scratched it out. Right, you were. Remember, our lexical form is tis and t, right? And the neuter form is t. So, what would the neuter plural look like if it were nominative neuter plural?
There's one with the other, accent.
The nominative, the nominative plural for the neuters would have what? Case ending. Masculine and feminines get s. Neuters get a.
That's
Right?
our third now.
Right?
Correct.
So, would I ever want to parse this as neuter? Nominative plural? No. S can only be, if it's third declension, masculine or feminine. Okay? Not neuter. I'm going to put both here because when you're doing your lexical forms, it's a good idea to just memorize whatever the forms are that are available. Now we learned sarxi. It comes from sarx. What case and number is that? Dative. Is that dative singular?
Yeah, dative.
Because of this.
Yep. Remember, what you have is a kappa and a sigma followed by the iota. When the kappa and sigma come together, they create a xi, don't they? So this is dative plural. And we can't tell by looking at this what gender it is. We have to know the lexical form. Hey, sarx, with the article. And then pneumata. What's my case ending here? Yes, the alpha. Are we certain that it's not zero ending and the alpha is a feminine first declension stem vowel? Could that be telling me first declension?
It's the mot.
Yeah, it's the mot. It's a stem that ends in mot. That means that the tau is the end of the noun stem and alpha is the case ending. I'm not going to know that unless I know that there are neuter nouns that in the nominative end in ma, but really have a tau at the end of their stem that falls out, right? Pneumat. And what gender are mot nouns? They are neuter. They are neuter. So it's not first declension, it's third declension, and it's neuter. So what's the alpha doing for third declension neuter nouns?
It's denoting the nominative and accusative.
It's nominative or an accusative, plural, neuter. Okay, good. So that's just a review of the forms here. I think we went through these warm-ups most of them, but does anybody have any further questions about the warm-up exercises?
Do Ada?
Yeah, let's look at Ada here. So let's read it together out loud, all right? I want to hear that beautiful Greek accent. You ready? Go.
En te sarki autou.
Beautiful. Okay, so who asked for this? Okay, Devon. So what did you do with this?
So I put in his body / flesh.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And did the answer key give you anything different than that? Well, sometimes people have questions because they don't like the way Mounce's answer key reads.
In his flesh.
Okay, so
In his
in his flesh,
Or it,
Or in his
or in its flesh?
it could be in its flesh if the it were,
Okay.
you know, like an animal or a boy, like a child, right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
In which case, in English, I think we would still say his, but it would be a neuter noun or neuter pronoun. Now, Devon, are you wondering how is it that that's the right translation?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you've got the end part, right?
And so then te is dative singular
Yes.
because the iota.
Mm-hmm. You have the iota subscript, so dative singular.
And then for Sirki,
Mm-hmm.
that is in the dative singular.
That's right. That's also dative singular.
Is
Let
it
me.
as the te as the dative singular?
Okay, yeah, so we have the article and we have the noun. And do the article and the noun always agree with each other?
Yes.
Yep, in case, gender, and number. They always agree with one another. So this, the article, what declension pattern does the article follow with that Ada stem? Which declension?
Oh,
Yeah, that's first declension, right? What declension pattern does Sarki follow with its iota here? It's third declension because its stem ends with a consonant, kappa, right? Is it okay? Is it kosher for an article to be one declension and for the noun that it goes with to be a different declension pattern? Yes. Yes. The article is always going to be whatever its declension pattern is, right? So what are my forms of the article? Well, it's ha, hey, ta, right? And let's just do the genitive. To, taste, to. So what declension pattern is the masculine form following? You see the omicron stem? That's second declension. Eta here for my stem, first. Ta, second. So the article follows a 2-1-2 pattern for its masculine, feminine, and neuter, and it'll always be that. Now the nouns that they go with could be any declension pattern, right?
Yes.
Think about this. Okay, let's blow our minds for a few minutes. This is better than smoking marijuana. Okay.
It could be any declension, but it just has to. It just has to.
Like, wait a minute.
match The gender.
Kyle is not believing now.
Yes, the gender has to be matched.
Yeah.
The case has to be matched.
But
The
the
number
declension
has to be
can be
matched.
different.
But the declension pattern can be anything because each individual noun or adjective has its own declension pattern. Okay? So here, follow me. Ha, pra, fe, tes. The prophet. What declension pattern does this article follow?
That's a two.
Well, no, that's the case, gender, number, right? Both of these are nominative, singular, masculine, right? But this is second declension. Prophetes is, see that Ada? That's first declension. But they're both masculine. They're both nominative. They're both singular, right? Okay. I could also say, you are ha, haste. Remember what haste means?
One.
One. You are the one. What declension pattern does ha follow? Second. What declension pattern does haste follow? It's third declension. but these are both still masculine, singular, and nominative, aren't they? So they have the same case gender number, but they don't have to have the same declension pattern, all right? So, how was that? Okay. So, and here, we'll just, let me just add one more here. This is very simple. Hey, sarks. Okay? What's the declension pattern that hey follows?
First.
That's first declension. What declension pattern does sarks follow?
Third declension.
Third, right? They're both feminine singular and nominative, aren't they? So my article will be one declension pattern, my noun may be another, doesn't matter, okay? You can still see what case gender number they are. So you may not know that sarki is feminine because you may have forgotten, but the article will help you, right? This tells you that it is dative singular and they're both feminine. Okay. Now, let's just stop there. Forget the L2. What does ente sarki mean? In the body or in the flesh, right? In the body or in the flesh. Now what we're doing is we're adding L2, which with that upsilon case ending is what case? It's genitive. Genitive. My lexical form is autos. That means what? Autos.
Him.
It's he. Okay, thinking of the nominative form, right? The lexical form is he. But it's genitive here, autu. So this is, what's my keyword for the genitive? It's, yeah, of him, right? So if I say, in the body of him, whose body am I talking about? His body. Okay, so you could leave it of him, or you could, make it a possessive pronoun, in his body. So in the body of him, or in his body. Okay? Make sense?
Yes.
All right, good. Others?
So, is L2 a part of the prepositional phrase?
Yes, yes, yes. So basically, I've got my, let me erase all this other extra stuff now. So what do I have here? I have, this whole thing is a prepositional phrase, right? And it's made up of a preposition, n, plus an object of the preposition. But the object of the preposition is being modified by a genitive pronoun, right? So, in something. What's that something? The body. Whose body? The body of him. So all of that is part of the prepositional phrase. All right. Any other questions on the warm-ups? If you look at gamma, by the way, this is a little bit tricksy. Master, tricks us, as Gollum would say. Is this the word one in front of sarka mian? Is this one flesh one? Oh.
He's got a smooth breathing.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Sipping on a smoothie here. What's the word for one in the masculine? Doesn't it have an epsilon iota sigma? Yeah. It's got a rough breathing and a circumflex. How do I pronounce that? Haste. Gotta put that rough breathing in. Haste. What do I have here? Smooth breathing. That is not one, that is the preposition. Into or in or toward. Okay, ace, not haste. So into sarkamian, what's that?
Into one flesh.
into one flesh or into one body. Mhm. This is probably reflecting the Greek of the Genesis account. The two shall become one flesh. They shall come to be one flesh. All right? Yes. Okay, it looks like we did a little bit of number 1, so we'll skip past that. Are there any questions about the translation exercises? What's that?
Tropical vacation.
I had to look around and see.
Yeah. Because I'm freezing.
I'm the only one.
Any questions on the translation homework?
Can we do number 6?
Questions back.
Number 6. Let's look at number 6. Let's read this together, everybody. Ready, set, go. Elegant, peri, tu, nau, tu, somatas, autu. All right. Who asked for this one? Taylor. Okay, good. So Taylor, give us your best shot at translating and let us know where you're struggling here.
I thought he was speaking concerning the temple, and then I have a blank and put his body.
Okay. So good translation. He was speaking about or concerning the temple. Now, 2. What case is that? Yes, absolutely. Brilliant. Genitive. Is it singular or plural?
Singular.
That is singular, because genitive plurals are always the same. What is it? Own. Omega nu. Own. So yeah, this is genitive singular. Good. Can we tell based on this form whether it's masculine or neuter? No. Masculine neuters in the genitive are the same, aren't they? So, I can't tell yet, but I can look at whatever noun it goes with this article, and it's somatas. What gender is somatas? Look, you see the mot there? Mot? And I have an omicron sigma, which is genitive singular, isn't it? So remember, my article and my noun have to agree in case, gender, and number. But they don't have to follow the same declension pattern, do they? 2 is second declension, somatas is third declension, but they're still genitive singular. And what gender?
Well, it says masculine, feminine, neuter. Like, according to the case ending.
The case ending.
The case ending.
Oh.
Genitive singular.
Oh, yes.
Genitive both.
Yes, the case ending all by itself could apply to masculine, feminine, or neuter third declension noun. But remember, we have to know for every noun what its gender is, because it can't be any gender, right? So we need to ask ourselves, what is the gender of this particular noun? It's neuter. What's the lexical form of somatas? Yeah, how do we know that that's neuter? Yeah, go to page 89. Look on the vocab list. Your fourth word is soma, right? And then it gives you atas, which tells you the genitive singular form. And then the article given is what? Ta, which is what gender?
Oh, neuter.
Yeah, that's neuter, right? So this is neuter. Now that we know it's neuter, does it make sense that this is the genitive singular case ending for it? Yeah, because in our chart, os is the genitive singular neuter case ending for third declension. All right? So, he spoke concerning the temple of, right? We've got a genitive noun here, so we're going to use our keyword of. Now over here, we have a genitive noun, right? Tu nau. Why did we not use the keyword of before the temple? Because I have a preposition. When I use a preposition, the preposition may require the genitive case, but I don't use the keyword with it because I just use the meaning of the preposition. So he was speaking concerning, don't say concerning of, just say concerning and then translate the noun. Concerning the temple. But here I don't have a preposition because this is genitive because of the preposition requiring the genitive case for it to have the meaning concerning. This is genitive not because the preposition requires it, but because it's modifying the head noun. Okay? And that's why I'm going to use the keyword of. The temple of, the body of, and this is the same one as Devon had, right? The body of whom? The body of him, which is to say, the temple of his body. Okay?
So that wouldn't have been wrong? He was speaking concerning the temple of his body?
That would not be wrong.
He put which is his body.
Well, he is trying to bring out the exact nuance of the genitive. There's lots of genitive semantics, okay? The most common one we've been thinking of is the possessive semantics, right? Like here, the autou is genitive in relation to somatos as its head noun. Whose body? His body, right? So that's a genitive of possession. But what is the semantics of to somatos as a genitive noun in relation to the temple? Is this also possessive? Is it saying he was speaking about the body's temple? No. The word body here is not possessive kind of genitive. What kind of genitive is it? This is what we would call a genitive of apposition. A genitive of apposition. And it's like this. If I said, we live in the city of Houston, and I were to write that in Greek, the city of Houston, which one of these nouns would be in the genitive case? Yes, Houston would be in the genitive case. This would be my head noun, and Houston is modifying the city. So is that a genitive of possession? Am I saying we're living in Houston's city? Like Houston is this big entity and it has a city inside of it? No, it's not Houston city. This is a genitive of apposition, which is to say, when you have apposition, the noun that is considered the appositive is basically identical to the thing that it's renaming. Okay, so the city of Houston, I could rephrase that as the city which is Houston. Okay, and here he is speaking about the temple of his body, which is to say he is speaking about the temple which is his body. Okay.
So that's clarification.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. Here, can I give you one really interesting case of this? And this will be even better than marijuana, or what we just did, putting the declension patterns together. Malt liquor. I don't know about that. Yes. Here's some of this. So verse 9. Dia, therefore, also, hatheos. What case is hatheos? Nominative. So what function would it have in this verse? It's the subject. And this is the verb of which hatheos is the subject. Therefore, God highly exalted, and alton is what case? Accusative. You see that new there. So therefore, God highly exalted him. Kai ekarisata alto, and gave alto, what case? Dative. So, and gave him, or gave to him, ta anima, you know that noun now, don't you? The name. Now, this is really a mot stem, but it's neuter. So what's my nominative and accusative singular case ending for third declension neuter nouns? It's 0. So mot would have had no case ending, and it would have ended with a tau, but what does Greek like to do with final taus? You throw in the tau. It's gone. So it's ta anima. So, and he gave him the name ta anima. Ta anima, ta huper pan anima. You know pas passapan, don't you? Which form of pas passapan is this? Well, it's the neuter form, and that makes sense because it goes right in front of anima, which is neuter, right? So the name, the above every name, which is to say the name which is above every name. Henna, what does that mean? That, or in order that. Ento anamati Yesu. At the name of Jesus. What case is Jesus here?
Genitive or dative?
This is genitive. It could be dative, okay? But we wouldn't have any reason for this to be dative. It would be in the name of Jesus. Pan ganu. Pan means what? Every knee will bow. And then I have some really interesting adjectives. Ep oranion, kai epigeon, kai katadonion. These are adjectives functioning substantively. Every knee will bow of earthly ones and heavenly ones and earthly ones and under the earthly ones. Kai pasa glossa, pas pasa pan. Which gender is pasa here? What gender is it? It's feminine. This is first declension, right? And every tongue will confess hati that Kurios Jesus Christos, that Jesus Christ Lord. Where's my copula? Where's my verb of being? Can I say me, Tarzan, you, Jane in Greek? Yes, I can. Right? I don't have to have the verb a me to be able to say that something or someone is something. Right? Greek can omit the verb to be, the copula, or it could be overt or explicit. So here, this is a statement. It's an assertion. Every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ Lord, meaning Jesus Christ is Lord. Eis doxon, to the glory. What case is doxon?
Accusative.
It is accusative, isn't it? Why is it accusative case? Because the preposition eis takes its object in the accusative case. So to the glory, theou is what case? Yes, this is what case? Genitive. So it's to the glory of God. And then this is pater in what case? Look at the omicron sigma. That's also genitive singular, right? To the glory of God the Father. All right, now, I want to take you back to this issue of the name above every name, verse 10, in order that at the name of Jesus. Here's the question. This is an important question. What's the head noun here? Name, anamati. That is my head noun. Yesu is the genitive noun. What are my genitive possibilities here? Well, many people take this to be a genitive of apposition. That is to say, at the name of Jesus means at the name which is Jesus. So Jesus is the name at which everyone will bow. Okay? But it's also possible that this genitive of Jesus is not a genitive of apposition, but a genitive of possession, which is to say, at the name of Jesus is at Jesus's name, or the name that Jesus has, or maybe to put it another way, at the name that Jesus gets. What is the name that Jesus gets? Kurios. Right there. Right? What are they going to confess? that Jesus Christ is Lord, to the glory of God the Father. So might it be the case that Kurios is the name at which they bow? Well, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Because a Kurios is a master, isn't it? And bowing the knee before a Kurios is a very normal and appropriate thing. So I would go with a possessive genitive idea for Yesu here. That it isn't the name Jesus at which they bow. It's the title Lord that he gets, which causes them to bow. They recognize him for who he is, right? Everybody will recognize his exalted status one day. Now, all of the names and titles of Jesus are meaningful in their own way, so I'm not trying to diminish the name Jesus, okay? Far be it. I just think that Paul is making a different argument here, okay? We're already talking about Jesus. We already know the name Jesus. What Paul is building to is that Jesus has a title, and that his identity is that of Lord. Okay, so anyhow, let's take a break here.